Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, Chapter 8, text number 57. Swechavatar charite achintya nijamayaya karishyati uttama shlokas tadhyaye dhridayan gamam. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. My dear Dhruva, besides worshipping the deity and chanting the mantra 3 times a day, you should meditate upon the transcendental activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his different incarnations, as exhibited by Supreme Will and personal potencies. Purport. Devotional service comprises 9 prescribed practices: hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, serving, offering everything to the deity, etc. Here, Dhruva Maharaj is advised not only to meditate on the form of the Lord, but to think of his transcendental pastimes in his different incarnations. Mayavadi philosophers take the incarnation of the Lord to be in the same category as ordinary living entity. This is a great mistake. The incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not forced to act by the material laws of nature. The word swaicha is used here to indicate that he appears out of his supreme will. The conditioned soul, he is forced to accept a particular type of body according to his karma given by the laws of material nature under the direction of the Supreme Lord. But when Lord appears, he is not forced by the dictation of the material nature. He appears like us by his own internal potency. That is the difference. The conditioned soul accepts a particular type of a body, such as the body of a hog, by his work and by the superior authority of material nature. But when Lord Krishna appears in incarnation of boar, he is not the same kind of hog as an ordinary animal. Krishna appears as Varaha Avatara in an expansive feature, which cannot be compared to an ordinary hog's. His appearance and disappearance are inconceivable to us. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly stated that he appears by his own internal potency for the protection of the devotees and annihilation of the non-devotees. Devotee should always consider that Krishna does not appear as an ordinary human being nor ordinary beast. His appearance as Varahamurti or a horse or tortoise is an exhibition of his internal potency. In Brahma Samhita it is said, Ananda Chinmay Rasa Pratibhavithabhi. One should not mistake the appearance of the Lord as a human being or a beast to be the same as the birth of an ordinary conditioned soul who is forced to appear by the laws of nature, whether as an animal, as a human being, or as a demigod. This kind of thinking is offensive. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has condemned the Mayavadis as offensive to the Supreme Personality of Godhead because of their thinking that the Lord and the living entities are one and the same. Narada advises Dhruva to meditate on the pastimes of the Lord, which is as good as a meditation of concentrating one's mind on the form of the Lord. As meditation on any form of the Lord is valuable, so is chanting the different names of the Lord such as Hari, Govinda, Narayana. But in this age, we are especially advised to chant the Hare Krishna mantra as enunciated in the Shastra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta. So now Narada Rishi is directing Dhruva towards the next step that he has to do. He first asked him to worship the deity, then he gave him the mantra, to worship the mantra, and now he's saying it is not only that you worship the deity form of the Lord, but also you meditate upon the transcendental activities of the Lord in his different incarnations, as exhibited by his supreme will and personal potencies. So, this is the complete process. Step by step, Narada Rishi is directing Dhruva Maharaj how to purify his consciousness and eventually come to the point of meditating on the transcendental activities of the Lord. And of course, eventually seeing the Lord face to face. So, Prabhupada is explaining here that this meditating on the Lord, comes under smaranam, chanting, shravanam, kirtanam, Vishnu, smaranam, padasevanam, archanam, mandanam, dasyam, sakyam, atmanivedanam. The 9 processes of devotion service. And each of them have, and as you move forward from shravanam up to atmanivedanam, there is a progressive awakening of relationship with the Supreme Lord. There's a progressive realization of one's eternal servitude towards the Supreme Lord. Shravanam is first hearing. What do you hear? You hear about the Supreme Lord, about His glories. His glories are of 2 types, Aishwarya and Madhurya, His greatness and also His sweetness. His greatness is like He is the Purushottama, He is the Parameshwara, He is the source of everything, Sarvakarna Karnam. These are all matters of His Aishwarya glories. Aham sarvasya pavo mata sarvam pravartate. These are all Aishwaryas of the Lord. And you hear about the sweetness of the Lord. How Nrsimhadev protected Prahlad. His sweet protection, His kindness, His care, His not letting down the devotees, His sweet pastimes of Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. So the focus there is on the sweetness of the Lord. First when you hear, there is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. So Shravanam is first you get information. Who is Krishna? From bona fide sources. So therefore Shravanam has to be from authorized sources. Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. Shravanam. Kirtanam. Kirtanam is nothing but you are recalling what you chanted and glorifying. You glorify the Lord. First you hear about the glories of the Lord. Then you glorify the Lord. Shravanam, Kirtanam. Vishnu Smaranam. Then Smaranam is remembering repeatedly the glories of the Lord. And this will develop attraction for the Lord. Then there is Padasevana. You have a desire to worship the lotus feet of the Lord. Because by Shravanam and Kirtanam, you have learned that the Lord has a transcendental form and His lotus feet is the most worshipable. And His lotus feet is a shelter of all living entities. So just like you know the glories of Nama, there are glories of the lotus feet of the Lord. Is a shelter-giving lotus feet of the Lord. Lotus feet of the Lord is extremely merciful. So you worship Pada Sevanam, you worship the lotus feet of the Lord. Very important. That is the beginning of going to the Satchidananda Vigraha of the Lord. The lotus feet of the Lord. Pada Sevanam. Then Archana. The whole body of the Lord I want to worship. Vandanam. Your whole body you are surrendering to the Lord, offering in service. See, so important. It may look like, okay, so many things. So in that one pay obeisances before the deities also. No, but that paying obeisances is a very important, one of the, 9 processes of devotion service. Paying obeisances. Just like we chant so many times in glory of the holy name, you're remembering so many times. Similarly, as many times as possible, we should do dandavats for the deities, for Prabhupada. So Vandanam is very important, extremely important, because see, Mayavadis, for them everything is in the mind. Just see here, Shravanam in the mind, Kirtanam inside you only, means Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, then Padasam outside, something come outside. What is that? There's a Lord who is outside you. That is Padasevanam. I and you, worshipper and worshipped. By Shravanam and Kirtanam, you understand the glory of the worshipable. Then you start worshipping. Padasevanam, starting the lotus feet, Archanam. Archanam. Again, the focus is on the Vigraha of the Lord. Not in your mind. Vigraha of the Lord. Archanam. Vandanam. Then Dasyam, then serving the deities. Serving the deities means cooking for him, feeding for him, collecting for him, maintaining the temple, maintaining the house of the Lord, maintaining cleanliness. So everything connected to the Lord and his house. Sevanam. Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam. That is servitude. We begin serving the Lord, working for the Lord. Dasyam. You go out to preach, you do management, you need cleaning, you do everything. This is all Dasyam. So we are practicing not only Shravanam, Kirtanam, also Archanam. Then also we are practicing Dasyam. See what all Prabhupada has given. All 9 processes he has given. You can practice in Krishna consciousness movement, all 9 processes. So Dasyam, Sakyam. And once one gets, to serve the Lord for a long time, by his reciprocation, you'll realize that he is the best friend. So your Dasyam goes into Sakya Rasa. Then Atma Nivedanam. Then there is full surrender to the Supreme Lord. I am yours. Atma means I am yours. Atma Nivedanam. So one constantly practices this bhavana of I am yours. Lord, I am yours. I am not mine. Not only I am yours, I am not mine. So by these 9 processes, in fact, that in this verse is about you should meditate upon the transcendental activities of the Supreme Lord in different incarnations. First of all, one should have Shraddha in what is an incarnation. So there are 2 parts. One is to develop the Shraddha, then is meditating on the transcendental activities of the Lord. How to meditate on the transcendental activities of the Lord? Then it is Shraddha. Shraddha is what Prabhupada is talking here in this purport, that how the Lord, when he incarnates into this material world, he does not incarnate like anybody else in a material body. In other words, he does not incarnate like us due to which is a forced birth due to our karma. Our body is a different energy of the Lord. I am different. Body is matter. I am spirit. The laws that govern what kind of a material body I get is dependent upon laws of karma, my action and reaction. That means the law of karma is ruling me. Every action I do, I get a reaction. Reaction means you are forced to experience. Suppose we have got this body. This body is given because we are Papa and Punya combination. You are forced to bear the fruits of Papa and Punya. You have to. You have to live in this body. You have to experience the Sukha Dukkha. So, that is the way in which all the living entities take birth. So, tendency is to think that when Krishna comes as a human being, or Krishna comes as Varaha, Krishna comes as Narsimha, the tendency, or especially so when Krishna comes as human being, people tend to think that there is a soul of Krishna, and then there is a body of Krishna from the material energy. It's very important to understand this point. There is a soul of Krishna, and there is a body of Krishna, which we see with our material eyes. This body of Krishna is like Maya body, like ours. Material energy body, like ours. So the principle of incarnation, to understand that, is extremely important. To understand the principle of incarnation, you have to understand the Supreme Lord as the omnipotent, as the master of all energies, as everything is coming from Him. He is the energetic. He is the energetic, and all energies are His. Now you take my body. This body is energy. I got energy. I am the person. So I am using all these energies, I am using for getting rasa, whatever. Goal, objective is that. Anandamaya Abhyas. For getting the rasa, the soul is handling these energies. But these energies are given to be my material nature. I do not own. But Krishna is the owner of all energies. Everything has come from Him. Now Krishna has a transcendental body, Satchidananda Vigraha. He has got transcendental limbs. He has got transcendental senses. He has got transcendental form. He has all these things in the spiritual world. But incarnation means He takes on a Virat form. I'll explain what is Virat form. A Virat form, that means a matter form. I won't say material form. Matter form for us to see Him, touch Him, relate with Him. Incarnate. Incarnate means, coming into a body. So when I take a body, I forgotten my spiritual body, and I take a material body according to my karma. This is the Jiva's situation. When Krishna comes into his material world, he does not forget his body because he is as he is. That means Krishna comes down into the material world as he is. At the same time, for us to be seen, he takes on a Virat form. Virat form means it is not limited material energy. Now, I have a form. This matter body is not a Virat body. It is only a small chunk of total Virat. When Krishna comes down into the material world, his body, his Virat body that appears to our eyes, looks like a small chunk of matter. But it is total matter. It's called Virat. So Krishna does not take a small portion of Panchabhuta as his body. It's the entire Virat. That means the entire material energy is his energy. Just like normally that's why omnipotency is required. Normally, can you fit a trunk inside a matchbox? You cannot. But the Lord is so omnipotent, his body looks like a matchbox. Comparison. But the entire trunk is, entire Virat is there in him. Simultaneously. That is why it is said that the Lord does, first of all, 2 points. One is, when the Lord comes into this material, he comes as he is in his original body. For us to be seen, he takes on Virat form. Just like Shakti Avaishanama is also Virat Shabda. It's not an ordinary sound. Omnipotent sound it is. So, in other words, when the Lord incarnates, the entire material energy is at his service because he is a master of material energy. So people, Mayavadis, that first of all, they don't accept this principle of energetic and energy. Person and his energy. This is very foundational to Vaishnava philosophy. Energetic and energy. Energetic is eternal tattva. Energy is also eternal tattva. Absolute truth is not Krishna alone. Krishna with the Shakti. Because Krishna means Vyakti. Vyakti means Shakti has to be there. Vyakti and Shakti put together is absolute truth, Param Satya. And as far as Krishna is concerned, because all the Shaktis are coming from him, he can anytime become any of his Shaktis. This is the omnipotency. This is the omnipotency. This part is what is inconceivable. For us, we cannot conceive this. So therefore, when the Lord appears in this material world, the Atma Maya, he says, by my own potency I come. Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya is facilitating all this. Virat body. When Krishna is engaging in pastime, he is engaging in pastime in his original body. But everybody cannot see that. Because you need Satchidananda eyes to see Satchidananda body. So now Yoga Maya arranges this Virat body so that you see there is the activity that Satchidananda form of the Lord. The Yoga Maya's work is to mime the activities of the Satchidananda Vigraha for us to see with our material eyes. But those who are pure devotees, they see everything. When we are conditioned, we see only the Virat body of the Lord acting. Like all the karmis, everybody, they saw, okay, Krishna left his arrow was shot, he left his body and went. That means look like, any other soul. But he left his Virat body. And because to incarnate into this world, he took his own. His Virat body is his own body. Not like you taking a body which is not you. So Krishna taking anything in any body in this material world, hog's body, whatever it is his wish. And not only that, if there is a hog body, it is not only a hog's body that you see, his transcendental form of the Lord, Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam, this transcendental form of the Lord itself becomes a hog form, transcendental hog form, and then gets into a Virat hog form. Okay. So, in other words, there is nothing material in Archa Vigraha. There is nothing material in the holy name of the Lord. There is nothing material in the incarnation, the activities of the incarnation. So these dynamics of the Lord and the Shaktis, that two qualities of the Lord. To understand incarnation, you have to understand two qualities of the Lord. One is his extreme merciful nature to make himself appear to our material senses. Second is his omnipotent nature. Because he is omnipotent, he is a master of all energies. This is his incarnation, comes before us. Even though my material eyes can see, he is acting in his original body I have no such, just like we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The Lord has incarnated in this sound. I know that Satchidananda Shabda is in the Shakti Avashanama, but I have no Satchidananda awakening. I have no sensitivity to Satchit Ananda. My consciousness is dull. It is absorbed in Asat, Achit and Nirananda. However, the Lord is very merciful. Chanting the Shakti Avashanama, the sound that I utter, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The transcendental Lord, the Aprakrita Nama, who has entered, Avesha, entered the Shakti Avashanama, he is considering service to Shakti Avashanama as service to him. One should not think that, oh, I'm serving Shakti Avashanama, I'm not serving Aprakrita Nama. No. He makes that equivalence. That is his mercy. That's why Shraddha is required. Even though it is a sound uttered by me, Krishna has decided to become that. Not only empowering, not only Satchidanandizing, just like an electric wire, current goes through it, it acts like electricity. This is a very crude example. In the case of Krishna, not only acts like electricity, he becomes a wire. That Shraddha is required. Because for Krishna, there is no different energy, energetic. So with that Shraddha, if you chant and utter the name on your tongue, the externally, there is nothing matter. In any incarnation of the Lord, there is nothing material. Prabhupada says, Krishna can transform matter into spirit, spirit into matter. So for us, different categories we see. Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti, all these things, material energy, separated energy. For us, we see. But for Krishna, it's not. Everything is his. He's energetic and the energy. Energetic can become the energy anytime he wants. Why? Because energy is eternally coming from him. So how can it be disconnected? Everything is inside him and outside him. All the energies of Krishna are inside him and outside him simultaneously. That is the opulence. That is the principle of Advaya Jnana. That means there is non-duality between energetic and energy. So anyway, if one understands, one has this Shraddha, with this Shraddha, one should meditate on the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Now, how to meditate on the transcendental pastimes of the Lord? First you hear, let's say we read Prabhupada's books. How to do this Smaranam. This verse is about Smaranam of his pastime. First you read, let's say you read Krishna's birth. You read. First when you read, mostly 90% is information gathering. What happened? Okay, Devaki was married to Vasudeva. Then they were moving on a chariot. Then there was a prophecy. Then Kamsa got angry, this thing, that thing. Then he took him to the palace. And then so many, each child he killed. All that information collection. First, reading. After reading that, then you recall what you read. And when you recall, next step is you recall and you reflect. Reflect means from information level, next you are seeing the feeling level, feeling layer in what you read. What was Devaki feeling? What was Kamsa feeling? What was the Vasudeva feeling? What is the feeling of the situation? Grand procession and divine voice, the feeling of what the divine voice said. So slowly from the information, it gets mixed with feeling of the situation. So read, recall, reflect. After that, smaranam means remembering not only information but with feeling. That means the total aspect of that Leela you remember. Then when you remember that, when you're remembering that, it's very important. It is said that one gets attracted, because meditation cannot be done unless one gets attracted. So in this process of reflecting, one starts appreciating the Lord's Aishwarya and Madhurya. So that bhavana towards the Supreme Lord, that attraction towards the Supreme Lord, makes you remember again and again. That's called repeat. So then that slowly you repeat more times, it settles in our chittam. Our chittam is full of gramya kathas. Coronavirus, conspiracy theories, this one, that one, full of gramya katha, our chittam. So our chittam slowly starts getting filled with Krishna katha, not gramya katha, Krishna katha. That means thinking, feeling, willing, everything connected to Krishna's glorious, his Aishwarya glories and Madhurya glories starts getting etched in our subconscious. Subconscious means chittam. Chittam means subtle body. It gets settled in our chittam. And then you remember again and again, then you get the taste for it. Because why? Why is it so? Because it is constitutional to the soul to relate with the Lord's Aishwarya and Madhurya. It is a nature of this. It's a soul taste. Now, Gramya Katha, when we hear, it is Ahankara taste. Ahankara rasa. When we hear Krishna Katha from the authorized sources, you get Atma rasa. But we have to repeat. So, for this you have to have Shraddha. What is one of the main important Shraddha? Is that these are not ordinary activities of the Lord. The Lord has incarnated. I am thinking of Krishna's pastime is, what he did. Let's say, take birth of Krishna, then the entire sequence up to Krishna reaching Nandagam. You read, let us say. You recall that. You'll start seeing that, you'll feel pleasure, Atma, pleasure, Atma Ananda, you will feel. Think about Krishna and his glories. So, this 5-hour contemplation, if you can practice that as a technique. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita also says, Abhyasa yogena chetasa na anyagami. Without diverting your mind, anyagamina, your consciousness, chetasa, your consciousness. What is that practice he's saying? Yuktena means chetasa na anyagamina, divyam shashvatam purusham. Purusham divyam shashvatam. Or the transcendental Lord. Yati partha anu chintaya. Constantly remembering the transcendental form, nature of the Lord, qualities of the Lord, etc. The transcendental, divyam, transcendental purusha. You easily reach me. So therefore, first he was, asked to, worship the deity. Then Dhruva Maharaj was asked to worship the Shabda. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Then he was asked to is asked to meditate on the transcendental form of the Lord. By all these processes, what happens is our chittam, our subconscious, our subconscious, contaminated consciousness becomes pure chitta, purified. When you fill our chittam with only Krishna katha and Krishna related work, Krishna this thing, then we get completely purified. Our chittam is surrounding the soul. The soul is now sleeping. When the chittam vibrates in a Krishna consciousness mode, that vibration like a resonance will awaken the sleeping soul. Means it will awaken my spiritual mind, my spiritual intelligence, it will awaken. And then eventually get a spiritual body, spiritual senses also. This is a whole process. And we go back to God and we eternally serve the Lord. Now Prabhupada is making sure that, okay, all this we read already about the avatara, and I explained Ananda Chinmaya Sadujjvala Vigrahasya. And another year Prabhupada says Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabhis. Finally Prabhupada comes here. As meditation on any form of the Lord is valuable, so also chanting of the different names of the Lord, such as Hari, Govinda, Narayana. But in this age, just like it, exactly as it is said here, you meditate on the deity, then you move to the pastimes. Same way, here also, first meditate on the Shabda. What is it? Hear. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Next sequence, exactly in the same. Next sequence is what? Prabhupada explains that if you hear clearly, Chitta Shuddhi happens, and the Nama will start revealing the pastimes of the Lord in our heart. But one has to get purified. So, but in this age, we are specifically advised to chant the Hare Krishna mantra as enunciated in the Shastra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, completely we take shelter of the Nama Prabhu, hear Nama Prabhu. Though Prabhupada says in one place that as soon as when you chant Hare Krishna, you should meditate on the pastimes of the Lord. The next line he says that first you hear, don't try to artificially think of the pastime of the Lord. The pastime of the Lord will automatically play when our heart is ready. When heart is ready, you cannot you cannot experience the rasa of association with the Lord without purification of the heart. The field has to be ready first. Therefore, simply by hearing, because Nama is Krishna himself, Nama is ocean of Satchidananda. Cleansing the heart, purification of the heart means there is no asat in the heart, no achit in the heart, no material hankering in the heart for Ananda and all that. Satchit Ananda. He is very clear what is Ananda. Ananda is transcendental Ananda. As Prabhupada says, all other Ananda in the material world is a suffering disguised in the form of Ananda. This is the fundamental illusion. Illusion means seeing something as something else. So which is the biggest illusion? Seeing material pleasure, as soul pleasure. That is the illusion. It is not that, oh, I have a choice, material pleasure or spiritual pleasure. As if there are two kinds of pleasures. No. One is not pleasure at all, appearing like pleasure. One is real pleasure. That is a choice that the jiva has got. Should not think that, either I can enjoy in the material world or I can enjoy there. You are not enjoying the material world. That is illusory enjoyment. You are actually suffering. You are actually suffering. These things you have to have faith in what Srila Prabhupada says. First you have faith, oh my, then you start analyzing every ananda in the material world, how it is a suffering. You will analyze. It is not simply a statement. One momentary you may have some pleasure, but that is only suffering. Because our pleasure is not momentary. Our pleasure is Nitya Ananda. Soul's pleasure is Nitya Ananda. Momentary pleasure is not soul's pleasure. It's Nitya Ananda. Any questions? Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. This question is related to the deity worship. Deity worship by the ex-families, a congregation. They have received the deities and somehow they are worshipping the deities with their own process, which they are not like how we have. Prabhupada have taught us the 9 process of devotional service, starting with Shravanam. Kirtan has to go, but somehow they are doing some ex-family, a congregation.
Congregation, okay.
Any family, they're very new
Right.
in Krishna
Right.
consciousness. So now they got to know about Krishna consciousness, Srila Prabhupada, and comes in touch with devotee. So prior to that, whatever service they have done for the deities, I mean, they are doing, is it the same benefit they get? Krishna receive that service?
No, prior to what?
Coming to in touch with Krishna consciousness.
They have been doing.
They will
that.
be doing some
Okay.
way, whoever have taught,
Okay.
but deities are there.
Right, right.
Point number 2, how do we connect them to our Radha Krishna Chandra, our temple deities? I remember in last class you have mentioned in Bangalore, wherever deities Radha Krishna, their expansion of Radha Krishna Chandra. And now family have come in touch with us. We are also training them. So how do we make their deities connection with our Radha Krishna Chandra with respect to deity worship?
No,
And they get the same benefit.
First of all, you see, if they are worshipping deity at home, for even before coming to Krishna consciousness, first is to, make them chant Hare Krishna, step by step. Make them some awakening has to be there by reading Prabhupada's books. Then they understand what is avatara, what is deity. Because without hearing properly, there is no realization of the deity. They separate the deity from Krishna. Krishna is in Golok Vrindavana, but now I am worshipping deity here. These are most of the people, 90% of the people. This is a image of God, not God himself. So this kind of aberrations are there. So all this tattva, they understand. It's not very complicated. It's very simple. Energy, energetic, personal energies. And omnipotency of the Lord by which he comes, he is Krishna himself. This you learn from Guru. How to see the deities you learn from Guru. So we have to teach on behalf of Prabhupada, we have to go and explain to them in a way in which they can understand. And once they understand, then where is the, let them worship the deity at home. Why you have to, when they come to temple, they'll see Radha Krishna Chandra. If they take initiation, they want to worship, because the deity worshipped in the temple, Radha Krishna Chandra. Just like, people have Balaji deity at home, but still they go to Tirupati to see the original Balaji. Because there he is standing because of certain significance of that place, some pastimes. You have to recognize every finer details. Lord is not a person. Lord standing in Tirupati is different from Lord standing in a sense, spiritual sense, from where the Srinivasa Govinda here. Original Srinivasa Govinda's pastime. He is standing on that hill is very sacred. There are a lot of pastimes connected to that. Now he is expanding for his devotees into them. So in the same way, the devotees, congregation, you have to tell them, this is very special here, the deity in the temple. Now you take a picture of Radha Krishna Chandra and you worship. So then way, they get connected to a deity installed as per Prabhupada's thing. Prabhupada has invited the deities. So they get little closer and linked up little closely. So it's not like black. If they are worshipping the Lord, if they are worshipping Vishnu, let them continue. They should continue. They should develop faith and make them understand where the Vishnu worship fits in the total thing. Or if they are worshipping some demigods for many, many years, suddenly you should not shake them. You have to understand, make them understand that, say, Lord Shiva, you should understand is Vaishnavanam Yatoshambhu. He's the greatest Vaishnava, greatest devotee. Start seeing like that. So suddenly, you don't tell people, you just enroll them for a membership or what. Then you go, Swami, come and see my altar. Then you go and see the altar. Shiva is there. Then ये सब निकालना है. They get offended. That's not the way to preach. Because Shiva is having a role. So we should tell him how to please Shiva more. He is in the altar. I will tell you how to please Shiva more. Don't see him as a material supplier. You please see him as giver of bhakti. And then like that, slowly we have to preach to people.
How do we?
What is that?
Yeah, in the altar, same altar, they will also keep the picture of certain spiritual leader. I don't want to
Anybody is free to create any kind of altar with anybody on that altar. That is a freedom in the material world. Okay. So now, if the person is interested in the Param Satya, is interested in the truth, interested in achieving purpose of life, etc., then we have to. Krishna also cautions in the Bhagavad Gita, don't shake the faith of the people. Because faith is better than no faith. So don't shake. At least little human being is. Faith means some higher authority is accepting. So, it's not that it is a right faith, but some little quality, some, guna, good guna is there, having something higher than him, better than an atheist. Okay, so he has some faith. So, but what is that correct faith? It is according to the persons, without disturbing a Shraddha, because Shraddha is in the Chittam for a long time. For many, many years, he's been worshipping. You cannot displace it. You have to purify it. That is one. Then, you see, individuals are there as Guru in the altar. Then you teach them what is Guru Tattva. Guru Tattva is important, you should tell them. So that they become impersonal to these people. Correct? And then give real Guru. So Guru Tattva, are they coming in Parampara? So talk about Guru Tattva. Is it easy talking Guru Sadhu Shastra? That also carefully you should, little by little, you have to engage them first in devotion service. They get some Sukruti. Only if you engage somebody in Sukruti, they build up Sukruti, they get a foundation for receiving this knowledge. To develop Shraddha, you need Sukruti. So that's exactly what the Vaishnavas are doing in preaching Krishna consciousness, going around and gifting Sukruti to people. If a person doesn't know anything, simply whatever he may think, he writes a check for you, Sukruti has begun. So this is preaching. Sometimes devotees think, okay, preaching means what? We are not preaching at all. We are only collecting money. Not preaching. Okay, you try preaching. Somebody is ready to hear Krishna Katha, don't collect money, preach, no. Who is ready to hear? I am busy, Swamiji. क्या चाहिए आपको? Check क्या है? हाँ, time I will not give you, I will give you check. You can go. At the same time, those who are ready to hear, You see that Sukriti has developed, there is some Shraddha in this person, make him chant Hare Krishna, give him Prabhupada's books. So we should be very careful we should very sensitively, case by case, we should take them to the next step. If somebody is ready to hear, yes, that's how so many of them become congregation, chant 16 rounds, etc. How it has happened? Because step by step we have engaged them. So that's preaching. So that is so preaching means giving out Krishna's mercy. To give out Krishna's mercy, they have to receive. They need patra. That patra is Sukriti, Ajnata Sukriti. Without knowing the greatness of the service that they are doing, they are getting benefited. Vrindaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Akshay Patra.